There was once a boy named Ethan who lived in a small town where everyone seemed to know everyone else's story. People looked at him and immediately decided who he was. Some called him poor, some called him average, some called him quiet, some even called him a failure. No one asked him what dreams he carried in his heart. No one cared to know what battles he fought in silence. After hearing those words for years, Ethan began to believe them. He stopped raising his hand in class because he thought his answers would be wrong. He stopped sharing his ideas because he thought nobody would listen. He stopped dreaming because he thought dreams belonged to other people. Every morning, he walked to school with his head down and his shoulders heavy. One rainy afternoon, after receiving another disappointing test result, he sat alone at a bus stop. He stared at the paper in his hands and whispered, "Maybe everyone is right about me." An old man sitting nearby heard him. The old man asked, "Who told you that your future can be measured by one piece of paper?" Ethan looked at him and said, "People say I will never become anything important." The old man smiled and replied, "If someone places the wrong label on a bottle, does it change what is inside it?" Ethan shook his head. The old man continued, "Then why are you allowing other people's labels to define your worth?" Those words stayed in Ethan's mind long after the old man had gone. That night, Ethan stood in front of the mirror. For the first time, he asked himself who he truly was. He took out a notebook and wrote down every label people had given him: failure, weak, ordinary, poor, quiet. Then he turned the page and wrote another list: hardworking, honest, kind, patient, determined. He stared at the second list for a long time. He realized that perhaps he had ignored the best parts of himself. The next morning, he decided to change his life. He woke up 30 minutes earlier than usual. He studied before school. He reviewed his mistakes. He read books from the library. At first, nothing seemed different. His grades improved only a little. People still doubted him. Some laughed at his efforts. They said he would quit soon. Ethan wanted to prove them wrong. But eventually, he understood something important. He did not need to defeat other people's opinions. He needed to defeat his own excuses. He kept going, day after day, week after week, month after month. Then life tested him again. He failed an important exam. He locked himself in his room and cried. He felt exhausted. He felt disappointed. He wondered if all his efforts had been meaningless. His mother entered quietly and sat beside him. She said, "Failure hurts, but it does not get the final word unless you give it permission." Ethan asked, "What if I never succeed?" His mother smiled gently and said, "What if you do?" That question changed his perspective. He returned to his desk, not because he felt motivated, but because he had chosen discipline. Slowly, he improved. The boy who feared speaking began asking questions. The student who struggled began helping others. The teenager who doubted himself started believing in possibilities. Years later, Ethan dreamed of opening a learning center for children who could not afford quality education. People once again doubted him. They said he had no money. They said he had no experience. They said his dream was impossible. But Ethan had learned not to build his life around labels. He worked part-time jobs. He saved whatever money he could. He collected donated books. He asked for help without shame. Many people rejected him. A few people supported him. He thanked both. One taught him resilience. The other taught him gratitude. After years of effort, the Learning Center finally opened its doors. Children filled the rooms with laughter and excitement. Some held books they had never imagined owning. Some discovered talents they never knew they possessed. Ethan watched them with tears in his eyes. He remembered the boy who once believed he was nothing. He remembered the labels. He remembered the pain. And he realized that every difficult moment had prepared him for this purpose. During the opening ceremony, he stood before the crowd and spoke. He said, People will try to define you according to what they see today. They may call you weak. They may call you ordinary. They may call you a failure. But labels are not destiny. You are not your worst mistake. You are not your lowest moment. You are not the opinions of people who never understood your journey. Your future is built by the choices you make every day. If you fall, stand again. If you fail, learn again. If you fear, move forward anyway. Do not wait until you feel ready. Begin with what you have. Begin where you are. Begin now. Years passed. Many children who studied there became teachers, doctors, artists, engineers, and leaders. One young girl asked Ethan, "What is the secret of success?" Ethan smiled and answered, "I stopped asking what people thought of me and started asking who I wanted to become." The girl asked, "Was it difficult?" He replied, "Very difficult." "Were you afraid?" "Many times." "Then why didn't you quit?" Ethan looked at the sky and said, "Because deep inside I knew I was more than the labels placed upon me." The girl smiled. "I think I am more than my labels too," she said. Ethan nodded. "You always were," he replied. "Life will place many labels on people. Too weak, too late, too ordinary, too young, too broken. But labels do not decide destiny. Your past is a lesson, not a life sentence. Your mistakes are experiences, not your identity. Your fears are real, but they do not own your future. Take one step today. Take another tomorrow. Keep moving forward. Keep learning. Keep growing. One day, you will discover that the greatest victory is not proving others wrong. It is becoming the person